Let me ask you something real quick. Do you ever start learning one skill, get genuinely excited about it, and then somehow end up jumping to something completely different a week later? And then another thing after that. And by the end of it all, you just feel scattered, confused, maybe even a little guilty about it. People have probably told you to just focus. Pick one thing. Stop changing your mind. Commit. But what if having too many interests isn't actually a flaw? What if it's a psychological advantage that most people, and honestly, even science, are only just beginning to understand? Here's the thing about people with many interests. They usually grow up hearing the same thing over and over. Pick one thing and stick to it. But their mind just doesn't work that way. And that's not a bad thing. They are not confused. They are not lazy. And they are definitely not broken. Their brain is simply wired for exploration. They are naturally curious. They get excited fast. They learn quickly. And yeah, sometimes they lose interest just as fast too. Psychologically, this pattern usually comes from three main forces. The first one is high curiosity. Their brain releases a strong hit of dopamine whenever something new comes along. New ideas feel electric. New skills feel alive. New possibilities feel almost magnetic. Novelty isn't just interesting to them. It's genuinely energizing in a way that's hard to explain to people who don't feel it. The second force is rapid early progress. In the beginning stages of learning anything, they improve fast. People notice. They hear things like you're so talented or you pick things up so quickly. But then the beginner phase ends, and progress gets slow, repetitive, and a lot less exciting. So motivation starts to fade, not because they can't keep going, but because the emotional reward just isn't there anymore. And the third factor is a bit deeper and more emotional. It's the fear of choosing the wrong path. A lot of people with multiple interests are quietly terrified of committing too early. They worry about wasting their potential. They worry about closing doors they might want back later. So instead of walking through one door and moving forward, they keep a dozen doors half open, just in case. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Imagine walking into a restaurant with only 3 things on the menu: chicken, fish, or pasta. Easy, right? You decide in seconds. Now imagine a menu with 50 options. Suddenly you're rereading everything, second-guessing yourself, and even after you order, you're looking at someone else's plate thinking maybe I made the wrong choice. More options don't make decisions easier. They make them heavier. In psychology, this is called choice overload. And when your brain is faced with too many genuinely good possibilities, it gets anxious about regret. It's trying to protect you from choosing wrong. And people with many interests live inside that pressure constantly. Every direction looks promising. Every path feels meaningful. And there's always that quiet thought trailing behind them: what if the other path would have been better? So they don't quit because they are incapable. They quit because they are uncertain. Uncertain this path will actually bring fulfillment. Uncertain the time investment will pay off. Uncertain they are not slowly drifting away from something greater. Switching just feels safer than fully committing to the wrong thing. And from the outside, they look talented and capable. But from the inside, they often feel completely lost. They compare themselves to people who chose one path early and just stayed. Doctors, engineers, artists, specialists. They wonder why deciding seems so easy for everyone else. Meanwhile, they start a lot of projects and finish fewer than they'd like, because their mind is always scanning for something better, something more. And so the cycle repeats. Excitement, deep dive, rapid growth, boredom, doubt, guilt, restart, over and over again. And eventually, they start questioning themselves instead of just questioning the pattern. But here's what most people completely miss. Having many interests isn't weakness. It's a different kind of cognitive strength. These people are often incredibly good at connecting ideas across completely different fields. They spot patterns others overlook. They adapt quickly. They combine skills in ways that feel almost creative by default. A huge number of entrepreneurs, creators, strategists, and innovators think exactly like this. They are not built for narrow lanes. They are built for intersections. The real problem isn't having too many interests. The real problem is trying to force a specialist lifestyle onto a generalist mind. A mind built for range is going to struggle inside a box built purely for focus. That said, there is a real danger here, and it's not curiosity. It's lack of depth. Because without depth, skills stay surface level. Without depth, confidence never really stabilizes. Without depth, your sense of identity starts to feel unstable too. So the goal isn't to kill your interests. The goal is to organize them. Instead of chasing everything at once, try choosing one direction for a defined window of time. 1 year, even 6 months. And then commit fully inside that window. If it's video editing, go deep. Work on timing, storytelling, technical precision. Build something real. Then later, you bring in your other interests. Maybe your entrepreneurship side helps you monetize it. Maybe your design instinct sharpens your visuals. You're not abandoning your interests, you're stacking them. A lot of successful people didn't make it on one single talent. They built combinations. And those combinations became their unique edge. So maybe the real question isn't whether you have too many interests. Maybe it's whether you've learned how to use them strategically. Are you someone who's scattered? Or are you someone with range who just needs a little structure? Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know which one sounds more like you. And if this changed something for you, go ahead and subscribe. Here at Revers, we dig into the psychology behind the patterns most people never talk about. If it resonated, leave a like too. It really does help this reach someone who might need to hear it.